Hello guys, today in class we talk about adverbs of frequency or frequency adverbs. That is the same. We have different types of adverbs, okay? We're gonna see the difference and how we use each one, okay? So according to the use, we have always, okay? We have usually, we have generally, often, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, rarely, and never. Okay? Always is 100% of the activity. Okay? 100%. Then we have 90, 80, 70, 50, etc. So according to the times that you do the action is the adverb that you're going to select. For example, if we have everyone always speaks well of Mark, okay? Why speaks? Because everyone, we consider everyone as a singular noun, okay? And for singular, we need to use the conjugated form of the action because this is in present, okay? So speaks is because everyone is in singular, okay? Then she usually fed her cat cheap cat food, okay? Usually, okay? Then a sentence normally has a subject and a verb, okay? I used to often take walks along that road, okay? Married people sometimes wish they were single, okay? Which it doesn't have an S, an ES, no tiene ES, porque people is plural. Tienen que poner atención al sustantivo, al pronombre, al nombre. Y sobre eso es la forma conjugada del verbo. I occasionally eat meat. Eat no lleva S porque estamos hablando de yo, ¿ok? My father seldom watches TV at night. Watches lleva S porque my father is singular. He rarely makes a mistake. I never forget a face. So according to the pronoun, name or subject is the action, okay? Always, siempre. Usually, usualmente. Normally, normalmente. Often, seguido. Sometimes, algunas veces. Occasionally, ocasionalmente. Seldom, de vez en cuando. Rarely, rara vez. Never, nunca. Normalmente los verbos o los adverbios o las palabras que terminan en LY es la terminación que conocemos en español como mente. Por eso es usualmente, normalmente, etc. Okay? Then we have more information. Adverbs of frequency. Okay? It says the same always, 100%, 90% usually, 70% often, 50% sometimes, 10% hardly ever, rarely, hardly ever, or rarely. It's almost the same, synonyms. And 0% never, okay? Nunca. Siempre, usualmente, seguido, algunas veces. Hardly ever es rara vez, muy rara vez, difícilmente. Rarely es rara vez y never es nunca. You are always late. Siempre estás tarde. We usually go to the cinema on Sunday. He often cooks pasta. El seguido cocina pasta. We sometimes order pizza for dinner. She hardly ever smiles. Ella escasamente, difícilmente sonríe. They are never at home when we call. Nunca están en casa cuando hablamos. And we have a structure. For positive, okay, or for question, we need the subject, pronoun, name, okay, subject. It could be singular or plural. You can use the frequency adverbs in two different forms. Once, if you're going to use any kind of actions that is not the verb to be. We're going to use the subject and then the frequency adverb and then the action. For example, we often cook pasta. We have the pronoun, we have the adverb of time, the frequency adverb often, and then we have cooks, okay? Is the action, the main action, and then the complement. Why cooks has an S? Because he is singular. So we need to conjugate in the third form of the singular. Eso ya es de inglés 1, se tiene que acordar del simple present, ¿sí? Cuando es he, she o it, la tercera persona del singular, el verbo lleva S, pero no porque esté en plural, sino que está en la tercera persona del singular. Ya sea que diga he, o my boyfriend, o the general, o the student, etc. El verbo va a llevar una S. Ahora, si vamos a trabajar con el verbo to be, entonces va a ser el subject, sujeto, nombre o pronombre. Then, the verb to be, luego va a ir el verbo to be, am, is o are. Y después va a ir el frequency adverb. Is, always, are, often, etc. Example, you are always late. Tú siempre estás tarde. ¿Ok? O sea, siempre llegas tarde. ¿Ok? Siempre te retrasas. You is the pronoun. Are is the verb to be for you. Always the frequency adverb and then the complement. Okay? If you're going to make a question, the auxiliary goes first. That you already know. The auxiliary goes first. Do or does or am or is or are. Okay? Then the subject, the pronoun or the name, and then the frequency adverb. Okay? Like this. Are you always late? Does he often cook? Okay? Now, it's very important to see this information. It says, use never and hardly ever with positive verbs. Okay? It's not correct to say he isn't never late, porque ya es mucho negativo. El isn't ya está, o sea, ya está en negativo. Y never aparte se utiliza, es como en el sentido negativo del adverbio de frecuencia. Entonces ya está en negativo, solamente se usa el never. He is never late. Ni modo que digas, él nunca llega tarde. No se escucha bien, ¿sí? Él nunca llega tarde, simplemente, ¿sí? Lo mismo sucede con los otros verbos. Dice, they don't hardly ever go to the library. Ellos nunca, difícilmente. No se escucha bien. They hardly ever go to the library. Ellos difícilmente, difícilmente van a la biblioteca. ¿Ok? Entonces es muy importante pues tomar en cuenta esta información. ¿Ok? Then, more information. It says adverbs of frequency. The same. Always, usually, normally, or generally is the same. Often, frequently, sometimes, occasionally, seldom, hardly ever, or rarely, never. Okay? And then, example. I always study after class. I usually walk to work. I normally get good marks. I often read in bed at night. I sometimes sing in the shower. I occasionally go to bed late. I seldom put salt on my food. I hardly ever get angry. Vegetarians never eat meat. Okay? And we have the structure. We need the subject plus the frequency adverb, always, sometimes, never, etc., plus the main action. Okay? Any kind of action that doesn't has to be the verb to be. O sea, cualquier acción que no sea el verbo to be, esta es la estructura. ¿Sí? Por ejemplo, es Daniel always passes his exams. Siempre pasa los exámenes. Ahí el verbo es pass. ¿Sí? Pero si vamos a usar el verbo to be, entonces ocupamos el subject, plus am, is, or are, plus the action, plus the frequency adverb. He is always happy. She is sometimes, she is sometimes tired, etc. ¿Sí? Entonces, con el verbo to be, el adverbio de frecuencia va después del verbo to be. Y con cualquier verbo, primero va el adverbio de frecuencia y después la acción. ¿Sí? Y aquí les puse más Más ejemplos, ¿ok? De este lado tenemos el verbo to be. He is always, I am sometimes, Caesar's always in love, porque también podemos contraer. ¿Sí? Ya saben, podemos contraer el verbo to be. Mary is frequently busy with the homework. You are always crazy. George is often in a bad mood. Isn't it, George? No, I'm just kidding, George. It's another George, okay? Peter's never at home. Gloria and April are rarely mad at each other, okay? Rara vez se enojan una con la otra. The teacher is always smiling. Of course I am. The dogs are rarely in silence. We are never quiet, etc. So if you see, we have the pronoun or the name, and then we have is, or am, or are. And then we have the frequency adverb, always or sometimes or rarely, etc. Okay. On the other hand, we have the rest of the actions. Okay.